if you've followed me for a while and you've seen my previous movie reviews, you will know that you'll be wondering what's gone on, what's happened to my setup. Well, I've gone into detail why in an update video, so I will leave a link for that update video below over here, so you could check that out. But basically, I have moved home. I've moved house, so that's why the setup is all different. But don't worry, this current setup is not staying. I will be changing this at some point. But I didn't want to keep on waiting. I didn't want to keep waiting before I actually started filming for my channel again. So I've just sort of dived straight into it. So that explains the poor lighting and the sort of the lack of a decent setup. And this is actually my first movie review in a while. I'm not sure how many weeks it's been, but anyway, here it is, and it is for Searching. It's directed by an Aneesh Chaganty, I think. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce his name, so apologies in advance if I've pronounced that incorrectly. But an Aneesh Chaganty, I think. And this is his directorial debut. The story of Searching is all told through the point of view of cameras, CCTV footage, smartphones, computer screens. It's all told through like computer screens and all of that. So very fresh, very different, very unique. I liked it. So the story. The film follows a father played by John Cho, who's trying to find his missing 16-year-old daughter, played by Michelle La, and he's helped by a detective who's played by Debra Messing. And like I said, this is all shown through, it's all played out through the point of view of camera footage, CCTV footage, your smartphones, all of that. This entire story is presented to you visually through computer screens, and it's different, it's unique. At first, for me, it was a little bit disorientating, but because of the very clever editing, the editing in this movie, it was really good because it helped tell this story in a very seamless way. Because at first, like I said, for me it was a little bit disorientating, and I think I can imagine at first a lot of people will find this film a little bit sort of disorientating and throw you out, purely because of the way it's told, because it is fresh, it is unique, and it is different. But because of the good editing in this movie, it does sort of ease you into it. Like, it had to ease me into it at first. Some people might not find, some people might be eased straight into this film. But for me, I did find it at first a little bit disorientating. But the editing was really good in this movie. It really helped sort of make this experience, this visual experience, much more, very seamless and sort of smooth, and not sort of throw you out the film and go, crap, what's going on now? When it comes, storytelling in this film is just really smart overall. It's very clever, especially when it comes down to sort of throwing you off the scent, basically, because it does become this big sort of mystery thrill ride, and they do a really good job at, like, a detective mystery thrill ride, you could say, and it does a really good job at throwing you off the scent. It does it on purpose. In fact, it makes you believe that this is where the story's going, or where this is the direction that the story's going, and then all of a sudden it'll take a sort of a sharp turn right and go completely into a different direction. I love that. I love it when storytellers manage to do that to you as an audience member, make you believe that the story's going into one direction, this character might be up to this, and all of a sudden it will just take a completely different turn into a different direction. And this movie does a really good job at doing that, and as a result, it keeps, it puts you at the edge of your seat. It does. It's like a white knuckle thrill ride. It makes you think, God, what's going to happen next now then? Because it did. At first, I actually thought I predicted the ending, and I was like, oh, please don't tell me that it's going to be that obvious. But the film does that to you on purpose, and it does that more than once, and I like that. So just overall, when it comes to storytelling, this was a very smart movie. The performances in this movie were also really, really good. John Cho was great as the father looking for his missing daughter. You could really see the horror and the pain on his face and through this performance. And I really like John Cho. I really like Debra Messing as well. She was really good as Detective Vic. Really, really good actually. And yeah, everyone in this movie delivers really good performances, believable performances, grounded performances. Makes you believe that these characters are experiencing these events, and it's as a result of these really good performances by the cast that elevate this movie, that really sort of help immerse you into it and immerse you into this sort of new and unique way of telling a story. It's because of their performances and the editing. And it's as a result of these really good performances and the very good editing which makes this experience very immersive and very seamless. And this movie, this story, has a very big heart beating at its core. And I like that. And it's really is about two things for me, this movie. It sort of delves into the horrors and dangers that can happen, that can come out of technology and the internet. Sort of delves into that, and explores that. And at the same time, it also explores how far a parent will go for their child, and and that unconditional love that a parent has for their child, and to the extremes and to the extent they will go to look after their child or children and to protect their children. And so yeah, it's about the dangers and the horrors of what can come out of the internet and just technology. And so obviously with the sort of the ever-growing presence of social media and all of that, the effects that can happen, and all of that, and then the sort of the parent side of trying to look after the children and the extremes that they will go to look after the children. So, and at the center of all of that is this big beating heart. And so yeah, I found this very enjoyable. Like I said, it's a unique experience because it's different. It's all told through a different point of view that we've not quite. I don't think I've never experienced this before. I do think this is the first time, and I liked it. And I think some people might find it a little bit disorientating, but I think down to the very clever editing, the really good performances, just really good storytelling overall, this film works. I will say I was a little bit disappointed, tiny bit disappointed in the final act, and just the way in which that played out. For me, it was a little bit far-fetched, maybe silly to an extent, and a little bit exaggerated. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but for me, the film almost faltered a little bit when it came to that final act. The realism sort of just almost sort of vanished from me just because of the way it played out. But I think a lot of that was just down to the fact that the way this story was told, which is different, it's fresh, it's unique, and I think that's why for me the final act sort of suffered a little bit because it was a little bit silly. But maybe that's just me. But overall, this was a really enjoyable and immersive experience. It will have you at the edge of your seat. So yeah, check it out. I will be giving Searching an A-. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think of Searching? Have you seen it? Let me know below. Did you hate it? Did you love it? Did you agree with anything I said? Please let me know below and let's get a discussion going. And remember, if you like what you see and you share the same passions as me, then why not hit subscribe?